find out if it's going to be rapha or Destruct.
Playing against Dahang.
Playing against Dahang, yeah.
So, I will go ahead and set these up.
We will load it up. Exciting stuff straight away into the match. Who would have thought? It's actually better than live, isn't it? We get on with it straight away.
We regulate who plays when.
Yes.
Which never happens at QuakeCon.
What we could have done is done map 1 of this, then gone to the other match and done their map 1. Oh, really mixing it up.
Just compare and contrast and really just mess with people's heads.
It's too late now, though.
Yeah. We've always got the semi-finals.
There's semi-finals to mess up.
to totally
and then we'll go up to a group stage match. Just throw one of them
we'll
in.
just throw it in there because we missed a few.
Like a practice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we could do that.
They wouldn't mind, right?
What's the problem? What was that? No. It is working.
This is actually odd to see. Toxicity was actually picked. This is, unfortunately... Oh, wow, we're in the middle of the match. This is actually one of the maps where a lot of pros don't like to pick this. They leave this as a tiebreaker because it's not exactly like it's a hated map. It's more of a, I would rather play my map and leave this because this is a very... How do I say this? Nobody is very super dominant on this map. Yeah, exactly. It's a very neutral map between most of the players on the pro circuit, if I can even say that anymore. But we are almost 3 minutes into this match, and we are looking at a 4-1 scoreline for rapha at the moment.
Yeah, let's remember this is the last quarter-final. The winner of this goes on to face Dahang, who we just watched. And we saw how dominant he was. So I'd be worried if I was this semi-finalist. Quarterfinalist, sorry.
Ooh, that was cute.
What?
Just a little how do you do rocket from rapha there, just slapping DKT in the side of the face right before he heads up to that yellow area. And yeah, rapha looking very confident. Again, moving in right there, taking down the DKT for a 6th frag.
You know you're confident when you decide to jump in at somebody's lightning gun.
Right. I think we saw that quite a few times with the hanging and sparks, you know. I'm going to get floated, ain't no thing, just going to jump into it. Gonna ride the wave, if I may. Go with it.
And the American best players, they often do that.
Oh,
it's just a level of confidence they have. 8-1 now.
Confidence or cockiness? What are you getting at?
I didn't say it.
Before you answer that, you didn't say anything. But nice. Actually, some brief rails coming out of DKT, pulling rapha down to only 60 health, but that mega is going to be up, so kind of the railable health from rapha is going to be nullified there. And again, ooh, a nice little peak rail through that portal on rapha again. And he is resorting to these YAs. I think Red Armor did go to DKT last, and I believe he is going to make his way over to that side of the map again. He's actually going to peek out first. Yeah, he's going to go to that 50, and he's going to cut off rapha at this rail. Hopefully he can get it on this red, but the LG is too strong from rapha, and the rockets will not connect from DKT. Kind of an odd push going rockets against LG in that situation.
Really excellent lightning gun though by rapha going through that. Mega is up, Destruct going to grab that one. I'm going to say about this map, it is obviously quite a fast-paced map like Aerowalk, so this kind of scoreline could be quickly turned around.
Definitely.
So we don't need to worry too much yet for DKT.
Yeah, not right now. I'd say if this scoreline kind of stays at an equal distance like this, around maybe the 6.5 minute mark, it's time to really start kicking things in gear, and yeah, it's definitely time to get things going because especially against somebody like rapha, things can definitely slip in an instant, and the match can completely turn. So
DKT, a lot of lightning gun damage there to rapha. He didn't really connect with his rockets either, rapha, but he can back off onto this mega. So DKT hasn't really gained that much out of it, although that's another good amount of shaft onto rapha there, peeling away that health. And, well, he's going to get the red as well, though, rapha. He's pinned in here by DKT. What?
I thought he was going to die a little sooner, I guess, you know. No, but that's actually a good move from rapha because, especially when that happens, too. But he took the red. He knew he was going to die, but he just wanted to get that red away from DKT so that he couldn't have it on a conversion frag. And obviously, he wasn't able to survive rapha on a fresh spawn. So beautiful idea from rapha there. A nice move as well. And again, that spawn kind of contributing to the luck as far as that whole sequence of events. So rapha is going to be set up for this red. It is up. Mega just taken by DKT. I believe rapha may know when it is. Maybe a general time. Definitely good enough. It's definitely better than no time. But that red will go in his favor. So I would say, even though the mega did go to DKT, a better stack is going to be in favor of rapha, especially with that YA pickup.
I think he'd picked up the previous mega anyway, rapha, and he was just playing for a safe red pickup.
Yeah.
So he should know the next time a mega. Of course, he'll know red is before it as well. So he can get the red, he can rush towards mega. That would be an ideal kind of setup, although it looks like he's more looking for control of the position of DKT. Ooh. There goes aggressive point-blank range rocket.
It's a beautiful move. I think he tried to make DKT think he was down at that red area, and DKT come to the portal and was trying to get to that Mega. Unfortunately, red is still left up, and DKT is able to grab it, but I don't think rapha really cares too much because that Mega and the YA are up, and he still has a very safe amount of armor to his name, and he's actually going to not go for that back YA at Mega. He's going to deny this one from DKT, and is actually unable to do so because the rockets from DKT are huge, and a beautiful switch to Shaft to convert that frag.
Rapha's rockets seem to just miss DKT's legs there and just go across the map. So that was going from doing 100 damage to no damage at all, and that really cost Rapha big in that fight because the stack that DKT's got going now, you could see him start to bring the scoreline back.
That's a slight damage difference, 0 to 100. That's a slight, differential there. But yeah, DKT able to finish off with the Shaft there, and yeah, able to collect the Mega as well.
Brilliant.
That's a nice little, that's a cheeky little rocket through the grates too to start off that fight. So
didn't take any damage in that period as well, and now he's got a red armor. He can rush out and really take advantage of the situation. Find out Rapha often takes up that spot in the middle there, just trying to catch out where his opponent's moving.
This is a bad spot to be, even though he has the Shaft advantage on or in that fight. He doesn't have the height advantage, and those rockets raining down at that close range is just a bad place to be. He's actually fortunate enough to make it out with that much health and armor left, and he is going to be able to take this red away unless he runs completely away and lets Rapha get the high ground.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
That was probably a wise decision because he needed to push Rapha away from the Mega. It didn't quite come out successfully though, as Rapha does grab the Mega.
But he takes a direct rocket in the process, so beautiful damage from DKT.
I think that was that's usually when Rapha is out of control. He'll just force you into picking one of the items. On that occasion, DKT tried to push him away from the Mega, then backed off for the red, leaving Rapha the Mega.
That's a bit of a risky move, actually, rocket jumping up there. Luckily, Rapha was not turned around with his Shaft out, otherwise that could have gone completely different. And a nice conversion frag here. Lucky little spawns for DKT. Able to pull down 2 frags in a very short period of time, and with the time being only a minute and a half left, it is definitely crucial that DKT converts a lot of frags here. So I guess he is kind of starting to convert when we said, earlier that it's definitely the time he needs to start making moves.
Yeah, he's been listening to us and our tactical advice as such top duelers as we are.
This is in the past.
What?
Inception. People don't get it.
5 frags is the margin. 1 minute 15 seconds left. DKT's going to have to go aggressive and get a couple of frags here just to be safe. You don't want to leave it all to the last minute. He's going to grab this red, and you really want to see him pushing now. You want him to push right onto Rapha and get that frag. Oh, run straight into that rocket by Rapha. And again!
And again. That was almost 4 in a row, because those 2 with the yellow that just barely missed, and those 2 right there are just going to cripple DKT. And those rocket jumps aren't helping, especially into a Shaft like that. And the rail's going to fish him off 120 health, and DKT is not happy. Yeah, he's giving up.
I think he fell into Rapha's trap completely there. I think that's exactly what Rapha was playing him to do.
Wow. And 7 frags, in a minute is it's hard. It's not easy to do.
It was a good comeback on the way, and just failing that rocket jump effectively, well, getting caught out by Rapha, just cost him the map, unfortunately. Well, we're going to load up map 2 any second, and that will be Blood Run, one of our favourites.
Well, actually, before we go live again with the second map, kind of tell the viewers about obviously the European presence or lack thereof. If you want to kind of just the general idea of Europe as far as QuakeCon has been, pre-QuakeCon, and how they're rooting, or who they're rooting for, I guess, is not how they're rooting, who they're rooting for to kind of, go far in the tournament.
Well, I guess there's only one guy, really, isn't there? The one European that decided to show up. Cypher.
4 showed up.
4 showed up, okay.
That actually played in the Masters.
4?
Yeah, there were 4.
Okay.
Well, originally it was 2, but then
Air Raid and
Cypher were the original 2 Europeans in the Masters Duel tournament.
Yeah.
Luckily for them, KGB and Fleischer just didn't want to show up on time, so they got actually dropped from the Masters at the last minute.
Oh, Memento Mori played.
And Memento
Mori
yes. Actually, Rox came in first to
to
sub KGB, and Memento Mori sub Fleischer.
So us as Europeans would be rooting for all of them.
Fair enough.
But at this point, seeing as 3 of them are out, I think we'll just go for Cypher.
No,
I think
I'm still rooting for Memento Mori.
Memento Mori would be everybody's favourite, I think. Everybody loves Memento
If
Mori.
DKT can listen to us in the past, why can't Memento Mori win QuakeCon after he already lost? It makes perfect sense.
We also count CZM as European now.
He is Swiss, officially.
Swiss, lives in Switzerland.
Officially-ish.
Oh.
I'm going to slightly stop screwing things up here for a second.
Luckily, we didn't switch off the camera anyway.
Good
so
move. Good move.
They predicted that you would mess it up.
They just know. But here we go, guys. Second map, we are looking at Blood Run ZTN. Take it away.
Run. Starting off with Rapha's point of view. Getting that rocket launcher spawn, spamming the Mega like you would. Actually just delaying the pickup of that Mega. That's an intelligent move as well there. Should catch DKT out, though he might have just spotted him. So it might have all been to waste. But there's a big gap between the red and the Mega now, so I guess Rapha's going to challenge this next red pickup.
I would imagine, wow, DKT actually going very aggressive, dropping down with that shaft out, and he's taking a lot of damage, but he is able to actually have the stack advantage and take down rapha for that first frag, but he's a little weak here. These 225s are going to be looking very tasty. Perfect move in there to convert the second frag, and he is going to be in perfect position
that
as well.
That delay has actually really helped him out, although actually he mustn't have read the time because he backs off away from it, and Rapha's able to pick up that mega health. I think Rapha did take a bit of rocket damage though, so he might not be as well stacked as he was hoping.
Yeah, he's obviously doesn't have the red. He does have a Y to his name. Yeah, that mega probably only gave him maybe 140 in the end.
They're going just a little fight over.
Oh
wow, wow. DKT's had a very good start to this map on Blood Run. Would you say this is a strong map for him or Rapha? We were talking about this earlier, actually, how I was saying traditionally the Americans weren't particularly seen as strong on Blood Run, at least back in Quake 3 era. And the Europeans saw this as a stronghold, whereas something like Aerowalk was seen as more of a stronghold of the American players.
European.
No,
American as well?
Yeah, Aerowalk was seen as a strong map for the Americans.
I would say this was definitely an American heavy map as well as Russians.
You think?
Russians have a thing with this map. I don't know what it is.
Well, that is true, because we just count Russians as Europeans. So
well, no, you said
if
this
they
is an American stronghold.
No.
Am I getting this back?
Not an American stronghold.
Okay, I thought you said it was.
No.
Okay, that makes more sense now because Aerowalk, I was like, what are you saying right now? Yes, Aerowalk, more of an offensive heavy map.
Yes. I think
the
American style is a very fighty kind of style.
It is. It's a brawling kind of style. Europeans are very tactical, and this is not a. I honestly would not consider this a very defensive heavy or offensive heavy. It's a very transitional style map. So it's very easy to go from one style to the other. And Europeans, I mean, let's be honest, they've had the more complex tactical playstyle as seen in the past, in my opinion, honestly.
They're going aggressive here, DKT. He did hit a grenade just out of the teleporter exit before that as well. Now it's a rail as well. Oh, just jumped straight into that rail shot by Rapha. And again the rail from Rapha, and DKT going from a position of real strength there. It's just been nullified his advantage he gained. As Rapha jumps for that red. Nice rail though.
Yeah, we could hear that Rapha was screaming right there. So DKT, not necessarily going to go aggressive, but definitely look to be a little more aggressive on the items. At least for right now, but he knows that Rapha did get that red, was screaming, and did get that yellow, so he probably does have a bulk of armor to his name, but not as much health. But he is next to those 225s over there, so unfortunately he is still screaming, but those rockets actually run out for DKT. That is not a good thing. And wow, the LG from Rapha is huge, and 4 HP for DKT. That should not have happened.
That tempting Mega, can he make it? He can't! The machine gun by Rapha. He only needs to hit one bullet there because it does 5 damage. And he did manage to hit it as DKT dived for it. And look at this, completely turned around the map now. Even though the frag... Yeah, there you go.
That was the last spawn that DKT could have ever wanted Rapha to get. And of course it happens, that one little tickle of machine gun.
I think if he thought about it, he probably wouldn't, if he could choose again, wouldn't go for the Mega and would have just backed off for the 25 behind the telly. The problem is, he could have just spawned up at the upper yellow, so...
Yeah.
It was just a terrible position to be in.
Yeah, you're right. Rapha has completely taken control of this map, and he's going to push on this YA. He knows that DKT has only that YA to his name, and the rockets are very strong. It actually takes a direct rocket, and DKT will actually kill himself on Rapha's feet.
This says a lot about choosing your positions for fight. So Rapha, by going down to DKT where he did, talking about that previous last? The previous frag.
Does that mean it's like a double negative?
Yep.
Something like
that. That he could almost control the fact that he would spawn in a dangerous position for DKT, and considering the damage he would have done, would get an advantage from it. Oh my god!
Sparks, turn around. he just walks into this room just like everything's hunky-dory. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and Mega's mine. And he just takes a rocket in the pooper.
Hit by a comet from above,
Ooh.
like he didn't know it was there. That's a really nice defensive rocket. Just pushes rapha back, but rapha's not really low as a result. So, doesn't have too much to worry about. They're jumping across there.
Hello, Rail.
Seems like he didn't expect DKT to be down there.
Yeah, returning the favor a little bit. It's actually a pretty nice LG tickle, because... God, that sounded really weird. LG damage. I'm going to say LG damage from now on. But that's even better coming out from Rapha, because that Mega is going to go to him, and that will give him the lead as well, right past this halfway point in the match. So finally, with Rapha playing with the bigger stack for most of the map, is actually able to take the lead, which is a little surprising. He was playing most of the map with item control, but he was down most of the time.
So
attributed to that good start from DKT.
Yeah, a very good start by DKT. And he's kind of been unfortunate in a way in some of the fights, DKT, but he's also given away a couple of cheap frags.
True.
You really can't afford to do that in a close game of Blood Run. You have to make your opponent work for every frag. And Rapha looks like he's just playing a really safe, tight game now.
Wow. I think Rapha was expecting a little bit more of a fight on this Mega. He was expecting DKT to be down in this YA hallway.
I really thought he would.
I
really thought he was
too,
just round the corner, and then suddenly he's got red.
Yeah. So it could be a really good move for DKT in the long run if he doesn't take too much damage. He does have a fresh red to his name, and there's another one coming up significantly early before this next Mega. So, and again, Rapha laying that trap right behind DKT. DKT not expecting that whatsoever, and takes a lot of damage. So shut my mouth. He took all the damage he was not supposed to take, and he's not going to be able to be in position for this red either. So that is.
Is this some kind of growing fad in North America where players will just...
What, herb dripping around corners?
Yeah.
I guess.
Turn their back
I
on
literally have not seen it this much in this many games in a row in my life. I think Sparks and DKT just got together and they were like, you know what?
I dare you.
Just don't...
You can do it the most.
We're going to wear earbuds. We're going to wear iPod headphones that have no sound canceling whatsoever. And we're just going to sit here and just lollygag around corners. Sounds good, yeah. That's a good way to go about the night.
I'll take that as fact.
Everything I say is
Everything you say
fact.
is fact.
Especially right now.
It's recorded on stream.
It is. That means it's on the internet, and that means it has to be fact.
It is true.
I can't wait for this to be on Wikipedia.
Still following Rapha, going to take this Mega as he goes aggressive on DKT first. Doesn't put any delay on it. I kind of expected him to after DKT saw him buy it, but...
And went through that portal as well, yeah. He had the chance to, for sure.
Yeah, he doesn't feel the need to. Going to drop down and maybe ambush DKT. No, he had gone through the teleport already. And that red armor is in the hands of Rapha, so still a stack dominance.
This is actually really fresh and refreshing to see, especially after the last few maps that we saw. Even though Rapha has the lead right here, with only 2 minutes left to go in this map, he's actually staying very aggressive and keeping DKT in the back foot, which is the best way, I think, to play, especially this map. Because like we saw in the last few maps, a lot of defensive heavy play. If you're in the lead, just kind of plus back and hope to God that you can get an item or two and, run the clock down. But right now, Rapha is just absolutely acting like a boa constrictor. He's completely denying DKT of anything. And I think that is just attributes to Rapha's playstyle and how smart he is. Obviously when it comes to Quick Live, because he's alright at this game, so he kind of knows what he's doing.
Just one of the best ever.
Details.
Here he goes aggressive underground again there, just extending his lead by 4 frags now with 1 minute 30 left. Still technically time, but considering the position the two players are in at the moment, it's very, very hard for DKT to bring this one back. What I'd say about the considered style of Rapha is that a lot of Europeans especially would say that he's a very defensive player.
A lot of people think that. It's obviously true that he does tend to lean more to the defensive heavy side because it's obvious he's not a very aim heavy player. But the thing is, he adapts so well to the people he's playing that, oh my god. Right when I say he's not an aim heavy player, that LG was absolutely disgusting. Yeah, he adapts so well to the people he's playing. He reads players better than anybody I've ever seen.
Wow.
I don't want to make this like praise Rapha hour, but honestly, that's the reason why he wins so much is because he can read a player so well. And DKT is actually going to forfeit that second map. So while we're queuing up the third map, I guess we go ahead and talk about that a little more. I mean, do you agree?
I don't think he's a defensive player. No, I think he's just very efficient and he's very careful with what he does.
Efficient. That's a good word.
Yeah, he's not flamboyant and doing rocket jumps about and making loads of risks. It's calculated. So his percentages is going to be in his favour when he attacks. But when he attacks, he really goes for it. Doesn't do things by half. And I think that's kind of a trend between other top American players, a bit like 0-4 plays a little bit like that, at least traditionally, and Dahang as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's just that that is the kind of peak way of playing. Now Cypher's a little bit different. He's a little bit unique the way he plays, I think.
Cypher, yeah, I think honestly, yeah, Cypher has one of the most unique playstyles, like you said. It's it
is extravagant. It's
awesome to watch.
Yeah.
I love it when
so
Cypher has a Cypher moment, dude. Honestly, there's
you can't control yourself. You start trembling.
I start shaking. It's some of the best Quake Live you can see, and that's why people love, and that's actually why it's happened so many times. Our rapha Cypher final in so many tournaments, and that's why the rivalry is so cool. It's because the two most unique playstyles coming and clashing together is just the coolest thing to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Rapha's adaptability to the people he's playing, his ability to read players, and the way he actually studies players watching enemy demos is, or I should say opponents' demos, not enemies' demos. He's too friendly to say. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but watching opponents' demos, just studying before tournaments, he just does it like nobody else. And I honestly think he has opened a whole new way of playing this game, and he's kind of made. It's almost the next step, evolution of playing Quake Live as far as competition goes.
And I think the fact that
again, this isn't praise Rapha out.
Him and Cypher have such a rivalry.
They do. I love watching it. I honestly can't get.
And yet they're so different. And yet the player styles, like which one? I almost feel like the most efficient, the best style to follow is Rapha's. But I mean, Cypher's is just if you've got that technical skill, where you can do the craziest stuff and hit the craziest shots, then. Yeah, be like Cypher.
What I love watching,
if you can, no one else can.
It's almost like the QuakeCon 2010 final of Cypher and Cooler. Again, Cooler. Speaking of playstyles, that was when I believe Cypher and Cooler were both at their peak in Quake Live.
Quake Live.
On the 2010 QuakeCon final. If you go back and watch those VODs, they're all over YouTube. On both POVs, I think the Quake Live TV stream as well of the Shoutcast is up as well. It is nuts, just how calm he is in those moments. Because when he hits just absolutely crazy stuff, he's like, "Yep," and he just goes about his business, and it's just cool. And and again, playing Cooler, and especially in that match, that was my first QuakeCon too. So that was a little treat, a 5-map final of two of the best players ever, and it was nuts. And I actually went back and watched those before this QuakeCon. It was awesome.
To hype yourself up.
It was awesome again and again and again.
So go and check them out. You've been warned.
Definitely. No,
but
seriously, do it.
Not yet.
Not now. Yeah, don't do that now because we are actually going live-ish. Live-ish on the
3,
third map.
2, 1. Yeah, there we go. Rapha picking it up. Just green armor.
And Mega.
And Mega. The Mega health. He left the red up, and this is often you see a tactic from the top players nowadays.
Switch
they won't
to rail.
Up.
Really?
Interesting decision.
Well, I guess it all works out in the end. It works, but he took a little more damage than I think he should have, even though it wasn't too much.
That's something you wouldn't associate with Rapha with doing. Going for some kind of rail-heavy
push at the beginning there? That was weird.
Yeah,
especially with rail out. You expect more of a rocket thing from Rapha.
But he has taken control of the map again, picking up the yellow and now the Mega. He's going to be in on this red as well. DKT going to go down on that staircase. LG fine.
I think he tried to jump to that red, but kind of missed the jump and
slid
down the stairs.
Hello.
Yeah, it was a bad time to go sliding down those stairs into a face full of shaft. So never welcomed. But that's actually a very quick start for Rapha. Just under the 1 minute mark, he's already got 3 frags.
Let's just remind ourselves as well, this is the quarter-final of QuakeCon 2012 Masters Cup. And Rapha's 2-0 up. So, wins this, he goes to the semi-final.
Two-face Dahang. Wow, he's actually taking a lot of grenade damage, so nice spam from DKT there. DKT does get on that red, but what?
Went down very easily there, yeah.
That was, I'm going to stop saying that Rapha's not a name-heavy player anymore. Every time I say that, he just comes out with some absolutely insane shit.
This is something we've been talking about in Europe a little bit, is actually from the last DreamHack, which is how good Rapha's aim is now.
That's true. I did want to say that.
Lot, it feels like.
Because if you go back and watch his play from 2009, 2008 actually, I believe he did start really getting heavy into Quake Live. That's about when he started his quote-unquote career professionally. Yeah, you go back and watch his 08, 09 VODs, any of his matches, you'll notice that he's obviously thinking a lot more than he is aiming. But recently he has definitely incorporated a lot more aim into his game.
Nice rocket jump up there by Rapha. He's going to get in on this red position as well, and DKT's going to find it very hard to move up the stairs. Rapha just peeking out to spot where DKT was. He didn't want to take that kind of damage from DKT, but he does do as he dropped down.
He didn't have much of a choice in the matter, and yeah, he doesn't have taken it, and he can't actually land a return rail. So, but DKT is trapped on this yellow side of the map and was able to not contest for that mega whatsoever. Nice little rocket. So DKT will have the high ground here for red, but he's actually going to back out. I think he does know that he does not have the stack to survive any kind of fight right now with Rapha, especially with that red coming up.
Anybody just worrying about the score? I mean, 7-0. This is on error walk, so that kind of frag difference could be got back in a minute. It's very easy to pick up.
Less, yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy to pick up a lot of frags, very quick succession. So it's nowhere near over yet. But Rapha's playing the kind of game where it could potentially be over halfway at this rate. Very controlled, hitting a lot of shots here and keeping control of the key items as much as he can. Although DKT did just take that previous mega, leaving Rapha just with the red to work with. That is great rail play. Is that only his first impressive though? It seems like he's hit so many rail shots already.
I think he has, yeah. That might be his first impressive. Yeah, what you're saying about, you can turn the frag score around in this map very easily. Very fast-paced map, but if it does continue like this, with Rapha being this strong and this dominant, even with this, we're almost at the 4-minute mark, it's still very early in the game, but DKT needs to do something to at least slow down the pace. And he really needs to make some items go his way.
I always think you've got two options, essentially. You can go really aggressive and try and deal out the damage and then eventually get the frag and turn the control around. Okay, you're going to give up a few frags doing that, but you can turn around the control of the map quicker. Nice rail shot as Rapha just drops down there. Or you can go really defensive, sit on the other side of the map, keep it close, and then hopefully turn it around with doing damage and picking the right moment. But that's too late to really play like that, because he's 9
It's a little too late to hope when you're down 9-0 against arguably the best Quake Live player in the world.
Yellow armor is up right in front of both of them. Rapha with the rockets, good frag there. Direct rocket in the end for Destruct, but he did do a lot of damage, DKT.
Yeah, beautiful rocket play from both players right there. Unfortunately, the stack is just too big for Rapha, and DKT was unable to tear down all of it, but does leave Rapha weak right here. And actually, DKT is going to make a nice move up to this LG area and push Rapha off of that red. A little bit of damage put out by Rapha there, but he's weak. He's going to be on his back foot a little bit. That YA should look pretty tasty, but DKT is going to push up just a little bit. Shaft through the grates, doing a little bit of damage, but that rocket is going to do a little bit more damage on Rapha's end, but still no items to work with.
You can see what Rapha's doing now. I mean, he's 10-0 up, and he can just play a more defensive game. DKT has to hunt for him, so he can just back off and shoot a rocket into DKT's path. He can do this ambush kind of shots through the grill. He's going to just try and stack up on the yellow side before moving in at all. And probably Rapha will try and win a mega first. Or
oh, wow. That rail from DKT, that's a hard rail to hit. It was really nice and very crucial as well. But those 225s up for Rapha are going to save his life, actually. He actually ran out of LG ammo in that fight, but a beautiful quick switch to rockets to finish it off. To give him 11-0 lead. And DKT can't choose a weapon right there. He's fumbling between LG and rockets.
Completely turns the control around as well, Rapha, just with that frag, which in a way he had no right to get, considering the control of the items. But then he moved out, got the mega, got the red. Now he's comfortable mid-ground of the map, and DKT's on the back foot again. And it's 12-0.
Yeah, and I don't think DKT can take another rail. We did hear him screaming across that map, and I do believe Rapha does know that. So he is going to be able to push a little bit more aggressive here, especially after this mega. That red, I think he does know, will go to DKT, but he's not too worried about it, especially when he hits shots like that. Definitely the peak damage is always welcomed. Wow. DKT with a shaft is doing a lot of damage. Rapha is railable right now. That grenade almost hits,
Great
actually.
Dodge, though. Oh, look at the damage being dealt by Rapha. Almost hits that rail shot, eventually going through the teleporter and taking out DKT. Oh, that's a brilliant rocket. Almost finishing with the second and the third. He's tried a rocket jump frag. He's looking comfortable. He's looking confident, Rapha, at this stage. I mean, it feels like some of these shots he's going for are very Cypher-esque, you know, just showing off.
That was the last thing DKT wanted, was that spawn and Rapha to get that conversion frag, because, again, 7 minutes into this map, 14-0. It's definitely quite large score margin. But yeah, that's, you know, that was about a minute-ish ago. That's when DKT really wanted to start turning things around, to give himself even any glimpse of a chance in this third map of this quarterfinal. But right now it is looking a little grim. DKT 0-14. Again, this being a very fast-paced map, it's still not looking too promising.
Rapha can just play that a little bit more defensive style, just kind of ambush DKT on any kind of attack. And there's DKT jumping across there. Rapha with the rockets out, rocket-acing it, rockets. And DKT just having to back off. Oh, Rapha's turned it around perfectly. Just so aware, isn't he, of like when the items are and the position of his opponent and how he can get in on those items around him.
Yeah, because DKT, when he dropped down, he didn't come around from rockets up the stairs to red. He actually went through that portal to almost get behind Rapha and almost let him get that red. So, yeah, good read from Rapha. Great listening out and knowing exactly where to go.
Just that map awareness that takes years of practice potentially.
And it'll sometimes come in handy in these maps.
If only we could do it in life.
Life awareness.
Yellow armor is grabbed by DKT. Rapha's only 13 health, but at this stage, I mean, he could just mess around with Rail, and he's not going to be killed 15 times.
Yeah, he knows he's not going to get the items right now, but I don't think he's too worried about that, because he can just do the peak damage and leave DKT weak so he can fresh spawn, pick up a weapon, and, you know, finish what he started the previous frag. So, but DKT himself, well, I was going to say he wasn't healthy, but when you're dead, you're not very healthy. So yeah, DKT knows it's over. It's not looking too promising. With 1 minute left and a 16-0 scoreline, that's going to finish it off. So Rapha has taken down DKT in that last quarterfinal match to set up a semifinal match against Dahang, which we're actually going to go into.
Right, we've got 2 semifinals.
We do.
Which are the 2?
I would love to do Rapha and Dahang.
We've got Rapha and Dahang. And the other one is?
Cypher CZM.
Cypher versus CZM.